First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thank you for joining us. We do appreciate it. We are live streaming here every weekday, starting around 1 o'clock and going throughout the afternoon, covering all kinds of topics. We're on our social media handles. We're on, of course, our website and our app, so lots of places to find us and enjoy the show and then watch it afterwards and share those segments. Right now, we're talking about a big event coming up next weekend, and it is the 10 Grands concert. By 10 Grands, I'm talking about 10 grand pianos, all being played at the same time. Sometimes it's soloists, sometimes duets, sometimes all 10, and all for a benefit for Play It Forward. We're going to talk all about that right now. We've got joining us, we have Marietta Harrison and George Miller, who's one of those musicians that was going to be playing during this concert. And welcome, both of you. Thanks for being here. And I think to start off, Marietta, maybe you can walk us through just a little bit of the history of the 10 Grands performances and how many decades it's been going and how this ties in with Play It Forward.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you so much for having us. I'm so excited to be here. 10 Grands started in 2000 when Michael wanted to raise money and awareness for music education. And Michael Allen Harrison, and he is a beloved pianist, composer. He's also my husband. And but this is something he's been talking about since 2000. So over 20 plus years. Yeah.
Wow. And so seeing a little demonstration there too, 10 grand pianos.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming together. And, with this concert, this series that's been going on, for, as you mentioned, over 20 years. And now we're tying it into Play It Forward. And can you give us a background on what Play It Forward is and how this benefits the community?
Yeah. So along the way, people started donating their pianos to Michael and the Snowman Foundation, which he started, and they started taking and donating pianos and giving them to the community, and they called it Play It Forward. And I started helping in 2017, and we expanded to offer music lessons. So now we offer music lessons to kids in school, during school. We're opening up a third school this year. We serve over 200 kids every week with free music lessons in school, and they all get an instrument that's been donated by the community.
That's incredible. Over 200 students being helped consistently like that. And plus getting access to those instruments, that's such a huge thing and can be such a big obstacle, especially pianos. That's not something that's easily come by. So to be able to donate something like that, so you receive these donations and then these go out into the schools, or do they go into individual homes?
Yes and yes. So we'll give pianos to the schools and to the students.
And then providing lessons as well. And George, I want to bring you in here too, because you're going to be performing at the 10 Grands concert, which we're going to be talking about. But have you been a beneficiary of some of this from Play It Forward and just getting this education in your instrument?
Absolutely. At the time that Play It Forward, at the time it was called the Snowman Foundation. So before Play It Forward really split off into its own thing. At the time they started funding me and paying for my lessons. They gave me an instrument. I've been playing piano for about a year. And I just moved in with my grandparents who, we probably wouldn't have been able to afford any more lessons after that first year. So Play It Forward and the Snowman Foundation was really a lifesaver for me.
That's incredible to be able to get that kind of attention and be able to continue those lessons. As you mentioned, that can cost a lot of money, and to be able to have that opportunity, how important is that for you in your life to be able to play music and have that education that goes along with it?
Well, I've kind of centered my entire life around it at this point. I'm heading off to a conservatory next year to study music composition, and I've practice and music it takes up so much of my life, and I love every bit of it, and I would not be nearly the same person that I am today without it.
How important do you think it is for other students, maybe in your same position or your peers, to also be able to have access to that kind of equipment and education in music?
I think it's incredibly important, honestly. Not everyone is as dedicated as I am to it, of course, but just what it does for people, the expression and the opportunities that it gives people. are just absolutely amazing. I've seen what it does to people of all backgrounds, and it's really incredible to see.
And talking about the 10 Grands concert, so these are 10 grand pianos all in the same room. I'm not sure, Marietta or George, who wants to walk through this year's performance just to give everybody an idea, because that seems so grandiose, and it is, it's with that much going on. But how does the planning go in for this concert, and what can people expect from this?
I can jump in here. I know it's going to be an amazing show. This year, Michael's really excited because it's the 10 Grands in the new era, and he has eight of the pianists are all young professionals like George and just a little bit older. And that's what's so exciting, passing the baton to the next generation, making room for new voices, making room for new sounds, and the next new generation of leaders.
Yeah, and musicians like right here is a video of George and Michael too, just to give some context for this as well. And yeah, and to be able to do that, for you and Michael, how does it feel for you to be able to provide that and to be able to bring these voices out from these younger musicians?
It's everything. It's everything. And it's high time. It's high time that more kids have had access and that financial barriers be removed. The barrier of having to get to a lesson or schedule a lesson, let's remove it. Let's make this type of learning available to all kids.
Yeah, and it seems to be what's going on with this. When it comes back to play it forward, what do you think are some of the most important things that the general public should know about the organization?
Thanks for asking. We are doing this because we know research shows, studies are coming out all of the time that show that learning a musical instrument grows brain neurons. It's amazing. It's a very powerful learning tool, and we believe strongly that all kids should have access to this learning tool. No matter whether they become dedicated like George or they take it for 2 years and it's not their thing, doesn't matter. What matters is that they've had the opportunity to do it and they've gotten those benefits because of it.
For those students out there who haven't had access previously or maybe still don't, how can they get involved with Play It Forward or even request information about maybe an instrument or lessons?
Yeah, they can, on our website, there's a request button to ask for an instrument. We give all kinds of instruments out to kids all over the state, actually. And on top of the lessons that we bring to kids at school. Right now, our lessons are focused on particular schools. We partner with the schools and bring teachers into the schools. If you're a school principal or teacher out there, hit us up.
Yeah, I was going to ask, when it comes to those instructors, and getting people able to be there, and have time. Is it mostly in person? You're able to find somebody that can go out to all of these schools, as you mentioned, across the state of Oregon, or is it online?
This is a cool thing. There's so many music educators graduating with hardly any jobs. So we do not have a problem finding dedicated, loving, talented teachers to go in and teach. So right now we have 3 teachers that go over to King Elementary. We have 3 teachers that go to Kairos PDX Learning Academy, and we'll be sending 2 or 3 teachers, depending on enrollment, over to Boise Elliott. So yeah, these are kids graduating from music education programs with hardly any jobs. Yeah. So we want to bring the 2 things together: young musicians that are looking for work and need work, and kids that haven't had access. We want to bring those 2 things together and make a difference and make some change.
And George, for you, looking at this concert, something like this for the 10 Grands concert, what do you do to prepare for something like that? I mean, I'm not sure if you're playing one with all 10 people or soloists or duets, probably a little of everything. How do you prepare for something like this?
That's exactly right. A little bit of everything. I mean, really, it's just, there's a lot of communication, of course, involved. Communicating with other performers and with Michael, and making sure that you are up to date on everything. Just knowing your parts all the way through, honestly. I mean, just the same as you would for any other performance. Of course, this is kind of different from a lot of other performances. But yeah.
George, what is it for you that draws you to something, there's so many different instruments that you could play, so many different things, avenues you can go down. For you, what is it that draws you to the piano and the more classical style of music?
It's funny that you say that because I do play many instruments and many different styles. And I think the greatest thing about classical and piano, well, I guess I should answer those a little separately. Piano, first of all, I mean, you can do so much on it. You can understand music in a way that you can't really with any other instrument because you are in control of every single aspect as a soloist. If you play clarinet and you play a concerto with an orchestra, the orchestra plays a huge part in that. But as a piano soloist, it's all you. And in terms of classical, there's so much history and like sometimes you have to look for it, but there's diversity and just incredible stories and like possibilities for expression everywhere.
That's amazing. Well, Marietta, for everybody out there, who would be interested in attending, let's talk about the 10 Grands concert first, the 10 Grands performances. Can you let everybody know when, where, and how they can get tickets to go see this?
Yes, they can get it. They can get tickets. I think it's reser.org. So you can get them through the Patricia Reser Performing Arts Center. The concerts are June 28th in the evening, June 29th, Saturday, 2 o'clock and 7:30, and June 30th, 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And all net proceeds go to benefit Play It Forward. So every ticket counts. Every time we buy a ticket, you're helping us raise money so that we can do the work we're doing.
That's amazing. Well, thank you, both of you, for joining us here today to talk about this and spread the word about it and the work that you're doing and, getting all these people access to music and, as you mentioned, bringing the worlds together of young instructors and students who need instruction and getting everybody on board with that and providing the instruments. So great work, and thanks for joining us here to talk about this.
Thanks for having us, Greg.
You bet.
Thank you.
And for everybody watching too, again, this is Fox 12 Now, so we are live streaming here today. And coming up at 1:30, so whatever platform you're on, I'll be right back here with that. We're going to be talking to Ivan McClellan, who is the founder of the Juneteenth 8 Seconds Rodeo, which you've probably heard a lot about over the last 2 years. They just had the second one this last weekend. It was bigger than the last one, so we're going to get a recap of that and a little idea of what comes next for Ivan and the whole rodeo that he's created. So that's at 1:30 p.m., so just a few minutes away, so you can come right back, like I said, to whatever platform you're on right now, or you can always watch these segments afterward as well. I suggest the Fox 12 Oregon app, great way to do that, or kptv.com. But we'll sign off, we'll regroup. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.